By the third day with no water, this is what's left of him. His blood has turned as thick as syrup, and his heart is fighting just to push it. His kidneys have already shut their doors for good. But to understand how he got here, we have to rewind to the very first hour, because the countdown started the second he stopped drinking. Meet the same clay guy you always do. And today, he takes his last sip of water. From this moment on, not a single drop will pass his lips. Your body is roughly 60% water, and it leaks that water every single minute of the day. You lose it in your breath, in your sweat, and in every trip to the bathroom. So the real question is simple. How long can he last before his body runs itself dry? Let's start the clock. In the first hour, he feels completely normal. And that's exactly the trap. Even sitting perfectly still, his body is quietly losing water with every breath he exhales. Each time he breathes out, he loses a little moisture. The same fog you can see on a cold morning. His skin is doing the same thing, releasing an invisible mist to keep him cool. He hasn't lost much yet, but the tank only goes down from here. And his brain is about to notice. By hour 6, the first alarm goes off, and it's called thirst. As water drains out of his blood, the salt left behind gets more concentrated, like soup that's been boiling too long. A tiny sensor deep in his brain tastes that saltiness and starts screaming for water. That dry, scratchy feeling in his throat is that alarm turned all the way up. He could ignore it for now, but thirst only grows louder the longer it's denied. Meanwhile, his kidneys are about to make a hard decision. By hour 12, his body flips into full rationing mode. His kidneys are the body's water recyclers, and now they refuse to waste a single drop. His urine turns dark amber because the kidneys are squeezing the water back out of it. His mouth goes sticky and dry as the glands that make spit shut down to save fluid. Swallowing starts to feel like work, and his voice turns rough and crackly. This is the calm part, and it does not last. By the end of day 1, the problem moves from his mouth to his blood. With so much water gone, his blood thickens and turns sludgy. Thick blood is much harder to push, so his heart speeds up to keep it moving. He can feel his own pulse pounding, even while lying perfectly still. A headache clamps down on him, and scientists think it's partly because his brain is losing water and tugging on the lining around it. When he stands up, the room tilts and goes gray for a second, because there isn't enough blood left to reach his head. His body is rationing hard now, but rationing comes at a price. On day 2, his body makes a brutal trade just to survive. To save the tiny bit of water that's left, it nearly stops sweating altogether. But sweat was his air conditioning, and without it, his core temperature starts to climb. Now he's overheating from the inside, with no water left to cool himself down. His thoughts turn slow and foggy as his brain runs short on both water and steady blood flow. His eyes sink into his face, and his skin stops bouncing back when pinched because the cushion of water beneath it is gone. He is getting dangerously close to a line the body cannot uncross. So here's the question. At what point can his body no longer be saved, even if you handed him a gallon of water right now? Drop your guess in the comments before we hit the worst part. Around day 3, the recyclers themselves break down. His kidneys have been starved of blood for too long, and now they begin to fail. When the kidneys quit, the waste they normally flush away starts piling up inside his blood like poison. That rising poison clouds his mind, and plain confusion tips over into delirium. He might see things that aren't there and stop making any sense when he tries to speak. This is the point many bodies can't come back from, because organ damage like this can be permanent. And his heart is now fighting a battle it's slowly losing. In the final stage, there simply isn't enough fluid left to keep his blood moving. His blood pressure crashes because there's almost nothing left in the pipes to push. Starved of oxygen, his organs begin shutting down one after another. His racing heart, pumping syrup against an empty tank, finally can't keep up. This is usually where the story ends, somewhere around 3 days without water. But here's the honest truth. That 3-day number is a rough guess, not a hard rule. In brutal heat, a body can reach this point in less than a single day. In cool, shaded conditions, a rare few have lasted closer to a week. What never changes is the order of the collapse. Thirst, thick blood, overheating, kidney failure, and finally, the heart. So, the body can survive a few brutal days without water, but every hour past the first quietly stacks the deck against it. Remember, this is a science breakdown and not a challenge, so please never test it on yourself. If his blood turning to syrup freaked you out, wait until you see what happens to his body when he never sleeps. Subscribe, because that minute-by-minute breakdown is next.